checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low. Gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the face. From the first sign of trouble to the all-clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the face. From the first sign of trouble to the all-clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all-clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. Let's get this show on the road.
I think we should get this show on the road, guys. What do you think? I think we shall. This is Ron Tyler at the Emergency Management Associates, guys. We're on the front lines, ready to go right now. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight, I guarantee you. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, my name is Ron Tyler. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. Welcome to our program, guys. We're glad to be here with you. Now, before I get started, I want to go through some housekeeping real quick here. I want to talk about things that you can do to help this channel. Number one, before you leave tonight, please give us a thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. That lets YouTube know that, hey, we're appreciated here, and they ought to show other people this program. Number two, don't just stay here for 5 or 10, 20 minutes. Stay here for a good share or all of the program. Otherwise, you're going to miss what we're going to talk about. Yes, we're going to talk about the detention facility in Texas. We're going to take a quick tour of the migrant detention facility in Texas. We're going to talk about Alex Pretti, the man the Immigration and Customs Enforcement shot and killed in Minnesota. Now, there's a reason for it. I'm going to talk about that tonight. We're also going to talk about the storm, that big, huge bombogenesis storm that started up in Canada. It's worked its way through the central part of the United States, and by tomorrow, it will be directly over Kentucky. We're going to talk about that and how it goes over to the East Coast, and then it goes all the way up the coast to Nova Scotia. It's going to be quite a storm, guys. We want to talk about all this tonight, so stay with us, okay? First off, let's talk about the detention facility in Texas. We briefly talked about the protesters that were out there yesterday that started over in Dilley, Texas, in a park, and then they protested, walked up the highway all the way to the Dilley, Texas detention facility where they met with federal agents that wouldn't let them in. Now, at that point in time, the federal agents wouldn't let them in, but a Congresswoman Crockett, the big mouth, ugly face Crockett. Yes, I'm calling a spade a spade. She's a pretty woman on the outside, but she's got a dirty, filthy minded mouth. Okay? She lies through her teeth. She can't be trusted. Another senator there from Gonzales, Senator Gonzales was there. He's going to tell you what happened today. I'm going to show you this video. You need to see this. Watch this. This detention facility is not half bad. It's actually one of the better detention facilities in the world. Okay? In the world. This detention facility was built by Barack Obama. Barack Obama some 14, 15 years ago. Watch this.
An ICE detention facility in Dilley, just southwest of San Antonio, is in the spotlight. So that is where 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father are currently being held. The Ecuadorian family was detained last week in Minnesota, and then images of that operation have sparked outrage. Also, concerns about where he is being held and how he is being treated. So Democrats who represent Texas in the House will be touring the detention center today. And joining us live right now, U.S. Congressman Tony Gonzalez, a Republican who represents Texas' 23rd congressional district, stretches from western San Antonio up to near El Paso, covering some 800 miles of the Texas-Mexico border. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, good morning,
really
Ashley.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Democrats are going to be going there today. You have toured the Dilley facility before. When was the last time that you were there?
A few months ago. And first off, this is in my district. I've toured that facility many times. I represent more border than anyone else in the Congress. I've also toured more ICE facilities than anyone else in the Congress. So I've got a lot of extensive background there. What I'd say, too, to start us off is tensions are very high across the country, and I think it's on all of us. It's important that all of us, everyday people, elected officials at the state, local, and federal level, we got to cool the temperatures down. And so part of the message is people need to be seeing exactly what's happening, not just the spin on things.
Mm-hmm. And this is not a new center. I believe it was built under the Obama administration. And some of the court filings allege that there's food with worms and mold, not enough clean water to mix for baby bottles, crowded conditions. It's designed to house families. What did you see when you were there last?
I have visited under all different kinds of conditions. This was actually the very first facility I ever visited when I was a member of Congress, February of 2021, and I visited multiple times since then. What like you alluded to, this isn't a new facility. It's been around for a long time. It's very well professionally ran. I mean, you look at I sent some video that we shared. Mm-hmm. It is, to be frank, it is better in better condition than some of our schools here in San Antonio. And so there's a school, there's a church, there's a place for them to play soccer, a big cafeteria. It's a detention facility for people that are in our country illegally. So as nice as a detention facility can be, but it's very professionally ran. The people of Dilley, they take a lot of pride in that area. And that's another thing too is, we're Military City USA. We are a city that supports our military. We also support our law enforcement. I think we can do all those things, support our local, state, and certainly our federal law enforcement, and also, make sure that we're compassionate in when we do some of these operations.
And whenever y'all are able to go and do these tours, where can you go? What are the limits or, kind of regulations you follow?
So I'm a Navy Master Chief, and you can tell me what you want me to see, and I'm going to tell you my job is to be a voice of the people and to oversee, right? My oversight is a big part of Congress. So I've taken lots of videos, I've taken lots of pictures, good, bad, ugly, all of it. Once again, share where are our taxpayer dollars going, what is actually happening, what are things that can't be spun one way or another. When you see certain images, you can't unsee them. And the other thing about the politics in it is I've hosted over 200 members of Congress at the border. I could not get any Democrats to come during the Biden administration. That's the frustration I have with some of the folks coming in and just trying to put a political spin on it. I want it to be the truth. Like, let's get to the ground truth. That facility in Dilley is well ran. And once again, it's been around for a long time.
And, Governor Greg Abbott, Senator Ted Cruz, they have said that ICE needs to recalibrate their operations. Where do you think things should go from here?
Yeah, I spoke with Secretary Noem yesterday. I spoke with Tom Homan recently as well, day before yesterday. One is we can't allow any of these rioters to not to basically take control of cities. Laws have to be enforced. But once again, what's happening in Minnesota and Los Angeles last year, I do not want happen here. And the way we do that is there's collaboration and cooperation at the local, state, and federal level. You can protest. I served 20 years in the military so people can peacefully protest. That's perfectly fine. You can carry weapons. I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe in open carry. We're an open carry state. It's when you start mixing some of the rioting with going against law enforcement that's dangerous. And I don't want that to happen here. So I think what you're going to see from the president is the president's taking it very serious. The fact that Tom Homan is in Minnesota is a very positive development.
And, the arrests that we're seeing, they're different. For years and years and years, a lot of focus was on Texas, but it was specifically on the border. And now moving, farther into the U.S. and, police departments, sheriff's offices, they have relationships in their cities. Yeah. Everyone knows who they are. They have clear uniforms. They are in marked vehicles. But when these arrests are happening, it's confusing. They're not in uniform. What do people need to know in terms of what type of documents need to be are acceptable? What to do in the event they are pulled over?
So first off, are you in this country illegally? If the answer is yes, then you should be worried, right? And you should find means to fix your situation. And I've been saying this for years, is literally millions of people have come over into this country illegally that do not qualify for asylum, that have broken our laws. I mean, that's no different than you and I. Once again, this detention facility are for people that have broken the law and that are detained to be deported. Immigration is very sensitive. It's very personal. To me, there's a way to do it to where you're not losing the trust of the people. We're being compassionate. One of those ways is if we focus on convicted criminal illegal aliens. There's literally hundreds of thousands in our country. When we do that, that gets a lot of community support. Anything other than that creates a lot of anxiety and tension and some of these other things. Once again, I don't want to see some of that happen here in San Antonio. The way we do that is we collaborate together. Mm-hmm. We make sure that the locals, our sheriffs and our police officers, they have a seat at the table and they are actively going out there and contributing. When you're not, you're seeing places like Minnesota burn and Los Angeles burn, and we got to make sure that those politics don't come to our shores.
An underlying message that happens anytime we reach these heated moments of immigration is just we need to fix the broken immigration system.
We do.
So where are we?
Yeah, step one is securing the border, which we've done that. Amazing. I mean, I represent a lot of the border. I was just out the border last week. It is night and day difference. For many of us that live along the border or work along the border, our lives are back, which is a good thing. The second part is all these people that are doing it the right way, legally trying to come over, legally putting in their work visas. We have to encourage that. You heard the president yesterday say, hey, the border's secure, so now only people that are legally coming in are happening. That's a positive thing. And then the millions of people that are already here, that's the tough question. That's the part where you got to get these people out of the shadows and into the limelight. And part of it is going, you've broken our laws. You have to be held accountable for that. I think there's some ideas that are happening on Capitol Hill, but it starts by we cannot allow these rioters to take over our cities. We have to follow our laws.
All right. Congressman Tony Gonzalez, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay. That was Congressman Tony Gonzalez from San Antonio, Texas. Okay. He gave us a lot of good information. He showed the detention facility in Dilley, Texas. This is where the migrants come when they're arrested and awaiting deportation. Now that Liam Gonzalez kid, his father was arrested. Now the stupid left people said that little Liam was taken helter-skelter by Border Patrol agents. That was an out-and-out lie. When Customs Border Patrol or Customs Border Enforcement were going after his father, he left his son there. 5-year-old boy left by a father was illegal and went running, trying to escape the law. He knew that he had violated the law, coming into the United States, breaking our laws, and when he was caught, he took off. He left his son. Agents picked up the son and very very handily walked him to the police car, put him in the back of the police car, did not handcuff him. It wasn't a flight risk. 5-year-old boy. He was scared. He didn't know what was going on. As you can see, they walked him to the police car, put him in the car. When they finally captured his dad was, one, a flight risk and also was dangerous. They handcuffed his dad and put him in the car beside his son. Then they transported him to a holding facility there in Minneapolis, then put them both on a plane and took them to Dilley, Texas. There was no manhandling, no bad things happened at all. The left blew it up into a huge deal. It wasn't. You got to remember, these Democrat communist politicians lie, both in Minneapolis, all over the country, including in Texas. Jasmine Crockett, who's a congresswoman, can't tell the truth at all. She's got a very bad foul mouth, swearing every other word, even in Congress. I heard a speech the other day where she was condemning border agents, telling them to get the hell out of this country. These guys are working and live in this country. They're actual citizens of this country, and she was telling them to get out under no uncertain terms. Jasmine Crockett's going to lose her job this November. She's in Texas. The Texas reapportionment came through, and she's lost her job. That area's been taken over by Republicans now. She's lost her job. She knows it. So the rest of this year, she's going to run helter-skelter all over Congress and all over the country, trying to proclaim her foul mouth and communist attitude. She's a left-wing idiot. She's part of the Squad of 8 now. Squad of 8. Similar to what AOC and the Ilhan Omar and Rashid Tlaib and others. They should be in jail. They should be in jail. Now, speaking of jail, okay, the 2 Customs Border Enforcement agents that shot Alex Pretti, all of the leftists, even the protesters, saying he was shot down in cold blood. He was an innocent person. He hadn't done anything wrong. Watch this. Watch this, guys. See this man here wearing the same kind of ball cap that he's wearing when he got shot, wearing the same jacket, even the same colored pants when he got shot. Incredible. This was 1 week earlier. He scuffled with border agents then. In Minneapolis, he broke a rib. He also did damage to a federal vehicle. Watch this. This is going to blow your mind.
Hitting an ICE vehicle before smashing the taillight in the video.
Yelling at agents, spitting at agents, kicking the car.
Spit on law enforcement officers. He had a firearm. He had 2 loaded magazines. He's yelling, "Assault me, mother trucker." He's yelling expletives, epithets, the worst of the worst, attacking, sticking his middle finger at them. This was just a couple of weeks ago, but to the Democrats, he was a sweet, caring, kind, generous man just trying to help a fellow citizen.
Caring for people was at the core.
Okay, remember this woman? Remember this woman? Pocahontas, a U.S. Senator? One of the most naive and stupid people I've ever met. Yes, I met her quite a few years ago. Elizabeth Warren is her name. Elizabeth Warren. Remember that name. Watch what she says about Mr. Pretti.
Of who he was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
Don't feel guilty about laughing. It's funny. But this is dead serious, America. This is who the radical Democrats are propping up to be their hero. This is who the radical Democrats are now holding as a pawn to hold the rest of us hostage as they threaten a shutdown if we don't defund our hardworking, brave, courageous law enforcement officers who are simply trying to do their job. Check out this vile excerpt of what Hakeem Nobody's Dream Jeffries just said about Secretary No.
Disgraceful.
Okay, Hakeem Jeffries is the second in command of the Democrat Party in the House of Representatives. Hakeem Jeffries.
She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ice permanently. She's got to go.
I want you to imagine if Pete Hegseth or Secretary Bessent or J.D. Vance or, dare I say, our President Trump said that Chuck Schumer or Ghetto Crockett needs to be put on ice permanently. What do you think would happen? This is Dana Kinlaw, who was lured into a fake puppy sale in South Carolina and then was brutally unalived by these people. These are repeat offenders who should have never been on the streets. They actually lured this poor American citizen who thought she was going to get a puppy, and then they completely brutally slayed her to the ground. Why don't we hear about this on MSNBC, NBC, CNN, the woke media? Could you imagine if the races were
one tiny flaw?
Okay, I'm gonna cut it there. That was Professor Nez. You can find his channel on YouTube. He's a great man. I admire him greatly. He puts out a lot of good material such as this early this morning. Again, Alex Pretti put up as, oh, he's a wonderful guy. He hasn't done anything wrong. He never did anything wrong. He couldn't do anything wrong. Guess what? He scuffled with border agents 2 weeks ago, got hurt, and broke a rib. Now, if you looked at that video closely, on his right back side, on his belt, he was carrying a weapon then. He had a concealed weapons permit. Now, this past week, this wonderful, considerate man that never did anything wrong was again scuffling with border agents. I've shown you the video earlier this week, scuffling with border agents, and he reaches back to his gun. At that point in time, border agents yelled, "Gun, gun, gun." That's what we do as law enforcement officers. We see an issue that needs to be dealt with. In this case, a border agent saw the gun. He let his partners know there's a gun. That was correct. Alex Pretti still tried to get his gun. I showed you the video where he was reaching back and grabbed his gun and held his gun down by his side. Okay? Everybody says he was doing no wrong. Okay? I'm an ex-cop. I taught use of force as a police instructor. I taught weapons training. Okay? I taught weapons training. I taught about firearms. I taught about batons. I taught about tasers. I taught about pepper spray. Taught about it all. But again, this man was such a high school or such a sweetheart. A top citizen. Really? He and these other writers are not that at all. They are protesting violently, scuffling with agents, pushing and shoving and grabbing agents. The day that he was shot, he was trying to pull a border agent, U.S. Customs Border Enforcement, off a woman they were trying to subdue and bring into custody. Pulling on the border agent, trying to get him off the woman. That isn't the right thing to do, especially if you're armed. Okay? If you have concealed weapons, do you think you should be out there scuffling with police officers? Those officers are cops. Those officers are regular police officers. Yes, they work for the federal government. I didn't work for Border Enforcement. I didn't work for Border Patrol. I was a regular cop, blue uniform. Those guys are in green. Okay? But I wore a blue uniform. Do you think I would have done the same thing? Probably right, I would have. Now, I'm going to let the investigation go at this point in time. I've already told you my opinion. My opinion stands. My opinion stands. I have been bullied over it. I'll be bullied over it again and again and again. I really don't care. I was a cop. I taught use of force guidelines. The man got what he deserved, in my opinion. In my own opinion. Mine. Nobody else's. I don't speak for you. I don't speak for anybody else. I speak for me. Okay? It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm sorry the man died. I'm sorry that Renee Good died. But when you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes. That's where I'm going to end this now. When you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes, and that's what happened. The 2 agents that shot Mr. Pretti have been put on administrative leave, taken off the street completely. Okay? Probably put in an office someplace to just sit out until the investigation's finished. I hope they are exonerated. I hope they are exonerated. I'm going to let this investigation play out and watch what happens. Okay? I've seen the videos from all kinds of angles. Okay? I've seen the videos. I've shown you some of the videos as well. That's why I believe I've shown them to you so you have an idea what happened. I'm going to leave this now for that. Okay? Next. Okay? What's been happening with earthquakes? Let's talk about earthquakes now. Okay? Yes, we've had some quakes. We've had some quakes. Let's bring up the USGS map here. Okay? This is southwestern Mindanao, Philippines. The southernmost island in the Philippines, the largest island, by the way. Largest island in the Philippines. What's been happening here? What do you think's been happening? Incredible. Incredible. We've had another large 5.0 earthquake. USGS shows 1 earthquake. Guess what? There are multiple quakes. Let me show you my device. I had it up here just a minute ago. It's gone to lock screen. I'm going to bring it up here really quick so you can see what's happening. Look what actually happened. It wasn't just 1 earthquake. These earthquakes continue to happen almost every other hour. Almost every other hour. There are a total of 6 other quakes here. Total of 6 other quakes. In this case, at least today, these quakes have all been small and 1 moderate 4.2 earthquake. 3.0, 3.9, and a 4.2 earthquake, as well as that purple earthquake, which is a 5.0 earthquake. But USGS doesn't want to show that. Heaven forbid. Okay? What happens? What have I said about swarms of earthquakes? When there's a swarm of earthquakes like that, we may even see a large earthquake. We may even see a large earthquake. These earthquakes are still going on. These quakes are ongoing, guys. They have not stopped. They are ongoing. So 5.0 earthquake off the southwest coast of the Philippines here. This is going to continue to happen for some time now. Okay? As long as we keep having large earthquakes, we're going to have more and more other earthquakes as well. Aftershocks. Aftershocks. The largest earthquake that hit here was yesterday, a 5.9. a 5.9 earthquake. Incredible, huh? It absolutely is. Now, I have a lot of earthquakes to show you here. Okay? USGS is showing this earthquake here in the Philippines and just this one here in Indonesia and one in Papua New Guinea. There are 42 earthquakes here in Indonesia today, and they're showing one earthquake. It's no small wonder that they're only showing 253 earthquakes on the world map. That's because they're not showing even a third of the earthquakes. Not even a third of the earthquakes. This earthquake over here near Timor, Indonesia is in the Banda Sea. In the Banda Sea. Okay? Nowhere near any populated areas. This is a 4.5 moderate earthquake, 107 miles deep. A fairly shallow earthquake. Fairly shallow earthquake. Interesting though, isn't it? Let's go over here to Papua New Guinea here. Okay, here we have a 4.4 earthquake. 4.4 moderate earthquake here. This is 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. Papua New Guinea. This is over on the shoreline. As I said before, these people are very poor. When earthquakes hit an island here, and people live in some of the villages and cities, their lives are totally upended. Totally upended. This one over here to the east is a 4.9, 5.0. Finschhaven, Papua New Guinea. 4.9, 5.0 earthquake. People live here. People live here, guys. They felt this earthquake. There's a city right here called Finschhaven. Very populated area. There's other villages as well here. This earthquake did damage. This is 41 miles deep. Still a fairly shallow earthquake. Okay? We're not done. Let's go over here. Okay? We talked about this earthquake last night. This is near Kokopo, Papua New Guinea. A 4.7 earthquake. This is 82 miles deep. 82 miles deep. Still a fairly shallow earthquake. One more here. This over in the open ocean here. Panguna, Papua New Guinea. Large earthquake. Nobody felt this earthquake because it was out in the ocean waters, away from any landmass. 124 miles west-northwest of Panguna, Papua New Guinea. The ocean waters absorbed the shock waves of this quake. Okay? Let's back out here. Let's go over here to Fiji and Tonga area. Fiji, 4.7 earthquake. 4.7 moderate earthquake here. Guess what? This is 538 miles deep. 538 miles deep. 601 kilometers deep, guys. What does that mean? That means this 4.7 earthquake is going to propagate or birth a larger shallow earthquake. Propagate or birth a larger shallow earthquake. In this case, this 4.7 is going to birth a larger 5.8 to 6.0 earthquake within the next 3 to 10 days. It's going to birth a 5.8 to 6.0 earthquake within the next 3 to 10 days. Fact. Okay? So we can expect either in this area here or all the way over the Solomon Islands or Papua New Guinea here, Vanuatu, the Legacy Islands, or even down here in New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa. Or it might happen that we might have a 6.0 earthquake over here in Chile, Argentina. That's happened a few times in the past, in almost the 7 years that we've been doing this. Okay? But again, they are not even showing all the earthquakes down here in New Zealand. 38 earthquakes here in New Zealand. They're not showing one of them. Not one earthquake. That's pretty sad. That's very sad. Let's go over here to South America. South America. They're showing us 2 earthquakes. One over here in Peru. 4.7 earthquake here. This one is 17.2 miles deep. Shallow quake. On the coastline here. Anybody live in this area may have felt some of this quake. This is still offshore. 34 miles southwest of San Juan, Peru. On the Southern American Fault. The edge of the plate here. South American plate here. It's no small wonder we have earthquakes here on the plate. Then we go down south. There are earthquakes over here in northern Chile as well. Earthquakes over here in central Chile and Argentina. But all USGS has to show us is one earthquake down here off the coast of southern Chile. This is a 4.4 moderate earthquake here. 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. Incredible. A total of 49 earthquakes in South America today. And they show us 2. One in Peru and southern Chile. It's insane. Completely insane. Then we go down here to the South Sandwich Islands. I have real issues with this one. USGS calls this a 6.0 earthquake. 6.0, 6.9 earthquakes are very strong earthquakes. There's a problem here, though. This was a much larger earthquake. This was a much larger earthquake. Let me show you some data here. Let me bring up the data here. Let's take down the map and bring up the data sheet. This may blow your mind, guys. This may blow your mind. I have real issues with this. When USGS says something and they're lying through their teeth, which I felt like that happened with that 6.0 earthquake, incredible. Insane is what it is. This is insane. Okay? Let me show you the data here. I went to the back seismologist study sheet, study page. I pulled up the data on the earthquake. What do you think I found? What do you think I found? What do you think I found? This study guide right here. The back seismologist study page. 6.0 earthquake in South Sandwich Islands. Let's look at this. I want you to see the whole thing here. Like it says, they say it's a 6.0 earthquake. Come down here to magnitudes. It shows a 6.0 quake. No station details contributed. Meaning they don't want you to see exactly how strong this quake was. Allegedly 43 station reporting, no station details at all. Meaning they don't want you to see what the seismographs show this earthquake was. The seismograph are machines on the Earth's surface to measure earthquakes, earthquake strengths. They don't want to see what happened here. Let's pull this down here. See where it says 6.2 earthquake? 193 station reporting. I clicked on it. Guess what? What do you think I found? Look at this. Right off the bat, 6.72 earthquake. 6.72 earthquake. The next is a 7.04. One full magnitude higher than what they said this earthquake was. Then they show a 5.56. Very low. Then they show a 5.91, which is closer, still lower than their projected earthquake strength. Then they show another 5.5, then a 5.30. All of a sudden, we're back up to 6.11, 6.35, 6.45, another 6.45 here. 6.59, 6.13, 6.06, 6.41, 6.94. Almost 2 full magnitudes higher. Six point four, 6.44, 6.79. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have only said 1 magnitude higher. Okay. 6.40, 6.44, 6.79, 6.04, 5.97, 6.43, 6.41, 5.61, 5.69, 6.68. Six 6.55, 5.94, 6.3, 6.29. Then we go down to 5.83 again, 6.3, 6.25, 5.79, 6.02, 5.36, 5.62, 5.74, 5.72, 5.82, 6.34, 6.79, 6.41, 6.14, 6.07, 6.27, 7.20. 7.20. This is the second seismograph showing us a full magnitude higher than what USGS said this earthquake was. Seven 6.58, 6.17, 5.85, 6.39, 6.32, 6.67, 5.92, 6.74, 6.74, 6.59, 6.34, and there's more. I only copied those magnitudes so I can show you a consensus of what this earthquake was. Now, I did count all of the earthquake magnitudes here. I counted all of the earthquake magnitudes, so you have to. Then you divide by the number of seismographs that are reporting the earthquakes. Then you come up with the average size of the earthquake, the average strength of the earthquake. The average strength of this supposed 6.2 earthquake was a 6.6 earthquake. This was a half magnitude stronger than what they said it was. A half magnitude stronger than what they said it was. Okay. I came up with the total strengths. I added them all up. Then I divided by the number of stations, 193. The average strength of the earthquake was a 6.5, 6.6 earthquake. Now, guys, as we pointed out before, this agency doesn't know the truth. They can't tell the truth if it was painted on their face. This was at least a half magnitude stronger than they said it was. I show you the data. But this is not all, folks. There's more. There's a lot more. We had another earthquake. We had another earthquake here today in Montana. An alleged 5.2, or excuse me, a 4.2 earthquake in Montana. Alleged 4.2 moderate earthquake in northwestern Montana, in the Rocky Mountains. In the Rocky Mountains. First, before we go there, let's go back to the USGS map and I'll show you that earthquake. Want everybody to understand where it's at and what it's doing. What happened. We need to know what happened here. Now, hold on. Let's go over here to Montana. You can see it here on the map. Right here. Northwestern Montana. Okay? They said this was an earthquake, 4.2, 5 miles northeast of Black Eagle, Montana. Black Eagle, Montana. Let's zoom in here. Let's take a look at this. Okay? This is northeast of Great Falls, Montana. Northeast of Great Falls, Montana. Out in a farming field here. Out in a field here. This was 15 miles deep. Fairly shallow earthquake here. 15 miles deep. Guess what? Again, this agency cannot tell us the truth at all. They don't know the truth if it even was painted on their faces. This is not the first time they've done this. Won't be the last either. Let's show you what happened here in Montana today. This might blow your mind. Okay? Again, they called it a 4.2 earthquake, a moderate earthquake here. A moderate earthquake here. Let's look at it. Okay? Again, they're showing a 4.2 earthquake here. Two of them. The first one with 53 stations reporting. No data available. No data available. The next one shows 37 stations reporting. That's interesting. So I clicked on it. Look what it shows here. Look what this shows here. 5.89. Basically a 6.0 earthquake. The first seismograph off the bat. Nearly a 6.0 earthquake. Nearly twice the magnitude here. Another one, 5.83, 4.88, 4.89. Okay, so far we're still over a half magnitude higher than what they said it was. 5.03, 4.82, 5.42, a magnitude and a half more, a magnitude and a half stronger, 5.51, 4.54, 4.50, 4.84, 4.77, 4.76, 4.91, almost a full magnitude higher than what they said it was. So far, not one seismograph is showing what they said it was. Not one, not even close. Now we have a 5.18, 5.31, over a full magnitude higher. Here's a 3.81. 3.81. All these others showing a lot higher than it was, and one showing it lower. Another one showing low, 4.07. Then back up to 5.14, 4.96, 4.69, 4.78, 5.26, 5.31, 4.76, still higher, 4.75, 5.91. Nearly twice as strong as they said it was. 5.95. Guys, this earthquake is at least as strong as a 5.2, possibly even a 5.3, 5.4 earthquake. They downgrade these earthquakes to the nearest thing they want to tell us it is. Usually they downgrade them to the nearest 0.9. In this case, they came all the way down to 4.2 magnitude. 4.2 magnitude earthquake. And they lied through their teeth. They lied through their teeth. Kind of 4.2 is not even that. Then they showed us a 4.9, which they did not say this earthquake was. They said it was a 4.2. This earthquake was actually at least a 5.2 to 5.3 earthquake. Again, they lied through their frickin' teeth. Montana, guys. Let me tell you something else. I went over the European map. The USGS said over 400 people felt this earthquake. They didn't have any comments from people that felt the earthquake. However, guess what? We had comments from the European agency, from people that felt this earthquake here near the epicenter. Let's talk about this. Guys. What did they say? The first one was near Great Falls. On the map, on the USGS map, it said it was north of Great Falls, Montana. Nowhere even close to where it said it was, but north of Great Falls, Montana. Let's bring up the map again here. Okay. Here's someone in Great Falls, Montana, 17 kilometers, approximately 8 miles from the epicenter. This person said it shook their house. Rumbling sound, 5 to 10 seconds. Felt aftershocks too. Is USGS even showing any aftershocks? Heck no. They don't want anybody to see what's going on here. Someone else also in Great Falls, this time 12 kilometers from the epicenter. Just about 6.5, 7 miles from the epicenter. 3 to 5 seconds of fairly vigorous shaking. Fairly vigorous shaking. Haven't felt any aftershocks. Felt the lateral movement. Lateral movement, guys. Lateral movement like this. Not up and down like this, but lateral movement like this. This was a lateral quake. Okay? The moment tensor ball says it came from the southwest going to northeast. Southwest going northeast. The shaking. Lateral shaking. Okay? Lateral ground movement. Okay? 4 total persons sharing information here. 4 total comments here. One was at the air base. One was at the air base here. Okay? Malmstrom Air Force Base. Malmstrom Air Force Base, it's not far from the epicenter. This time only 8 kilometers away. Okay? 6.2 miles is 10 kilometers. This one's about 5 miles. Okay? This one says a quick shake at Malmstrom Air Force Base. That's where all the B-52 bombers are. That's also a NORAD center, meaning they control missiles from Malmstrom. Helena, Montana, over 125 kilometers from the epicenter. That's pretty long distance, about 70 miles. Minor rocking of recliner. Minor rocking of the recliner. 70 miles away. Guys, this was not a 4.2 earthquake. This was at least a 5.3, possibly a 5.4 earthquake here in Montana today. Again, they don't want to be honest with us and tell us what's going on here. That's pretty sad. That's very sad. You would think, at least here in the United States, they would be honest with us. Apparently they're not, and they can't. They have never told us the truth about almost anything yet. I'm still holding out hope. You notice I said yet. Okay? This is an agency I used to look up to back in college and high school. I studied geology, got a degree. I kept on studying. All these years later, I keep studying, looking up information. I've kept up with my education. I've increased my knowledge. I'm what they consider a subject matter expert now. Let's go over offshore, off the West Coast, at the border of Oregon and California, off the coast, at the Gorda Ridge. See this northeast to southwest earthquake fault? It's called the Gorda Ridge. Off the coast of Pistol River, Oregon, a 3.1 small quake. This is in the southern part of the Cascadia subduction zone region. The southern end of the Cascadia subduction zone region. We've had a lot of earthquakes here recently, haven't we? We certainly have. Earthquakes keep happening here in Cascadia region. They keep continuing. They're not going to stop. They're ongoing. These earthquakes are ongoing. I'm going to keep you up to date with what's going on here. I believe in what we're doing here. We're trying to save lives here. That earthquake in Montana was in the Rocky Mountains. When I went to check on why they thought that this earthquake hit, they did not say anything about the Rocky Mountains at all. The Rocky Mountains here are on what? The Western Continental Divide. This is just east of the Continental Divide. Okay? Just east of the Continental Divide. Seismic energy comes up from the north here. Way up north here. Okay? Comes down from Alaska and or Canada. Yes, we've had earthquakes here in Canada recently. Even yesterday, over in northern Alberta, Canada, yesterday we had a 4.5 earthquake. Northern Alberta, Canada. Earthquakes continue to happen here. They are going to continue to happen now. As a result of seismic energy up in northeastern Alaska and northwestern Canada, we had an earthquake here in Montana. Not a 4.2, but a 5.3, 5.4 earthquake. This energy is going to continue going down the Continental Divide, possibly into Idaho, Montana, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, or even down into Texas. Large seismic energy here. Large seismic energy. What's going to happen after that? What's going to happen with this energy after that? Let's take down this map. Let's go over the craton. I want to take you over the North American craton here. Right here. You see where this energy is going to go down? The edge of the craton. It's in the Western Rocky Mountains right there. Or I'm sorry, the Eastern Rocky Mountains there. It's going to follow the edge of the plate here. Edge of the craton. That brown area. Like I said, could go into Idaho. The energy could go over to Idaho, Wyoming, over Utah, Colorado, down here in New Mexico, and Texas. But it doesn't have to stop there. It does not have to stop there. Let me show you what's going to happen here, what may happen. Just a second here. See the edge of the craton? Goes through Texas, goes back up to through northern Texas and into Oklahoma. Then it's eastbound from there. Leaves Oklahoma and goes into where? Arkansas, Missouri, maybe dips down into Kentucky and goes north into Tennessee and further north into North Carolina, Virginia, and goes up here to the East Coast. Yes, it can happen. This may happen, guys. This may happen. Okay? I just want to give you an idea of what could happen. I think it's important to understand. I think it's very important to understand what's going on here. Okay? But again, these are not the only earthquakes that hit. USGS is not even telling us the truth. Not at all. They couldn't tell us the truth if their lives depended on it. They only want to show us what they want to show us, and that's it. Nothing more and nothing less. Well, actually, they do show us less. Sometimes they hardly show us anything, which is sad. Let's go over to the East Coast to to the New Madrid. Now, guys, I am prepared to show you earthquakes on the East Coast as well. There are a few earthquakes on the East Coast. But more than anything, I want to concentrate the next time we have here to the New Madrid Fault. I want to show you tonight what is happening on the New Madrid Fault. Okay? We want to become completely fluent in what's happening here. As I said before, it's my belief that I don't think we have more than 2 years before we have a major incident here on the New Madrid Fault. The center part of the New Madrid Fault is up in Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, and Missouri. Okay? I don't think we have more than 2 years. I could be wrong. I hope it's a lot longer, but I don't think so. Why did I come up with that 2-year time period? I've been talking about earthquakes here on the New Madrid Fault for 6.5 years. When you guys started asking about them, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Back in the day, 6.5 years ago, guys, all we are having are minor tremors. Some microquakes as well. 1.0, 1.9 tremors. That's all was happening. That's all that was happening. Then about 2 years later, about 3 years or so ago, all of a sudden we started seeing minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. Now those earthquakes have gotten larger, much, much larger. We've seen upwards of 4.5 earthquakes here on the New Madrid Fault in the past year. Two 4.5 earthquakes on the New Madrid Fault in the past year. Okay? It's my belief we could even have a large 5.0 or larger earthquake here on the New Madrid Fault this year. I believe we could have a 5.0 or larger earthquake on the New Madrid Fault this year. Watch what we're saying here. Every week I take you through the New Madrid Fault almost consistently. I show you what's going on. And based on what is happening, we could have a major uproar here on the New Madrid Fault this year. 5.0 at least this year. I don't think it's going to be an 8.0 until maybe 2 years from now, but considering what is going on, the seismicity, the size of the earthquakes are increasing. The size of the earthquakes are increasing here. Okay? They're increasing. Let's talk about this now. Let's go here and talk about it. I want to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about here. I think this is vitally important for everyone's safety. We have a lot of people here in the EMA family, the Emergency Management Associate family here on YouTube. People that consistently watch what we're talking about. They live here. When this earthquake gives up the strength, there's going to be a number of people that are unalived. There's going to be probably an equal or larger number that are injured, badly injured. Okay? That's why I'm so concerned about what's going on here. I want everybody to understand what's happening here. Like I said, when I first started bringing this information to you, all we were seeing are minor earthquakes, tremors, not even minor earthquakes, but tremors. Look what's going on now. Look what's going on now. Let me enlarge this thing so you can see it. Okay? Guys, this is Alabama. This is over east of the fault line. Way east of the fault line. Almost 200 miles east of the fault line. Alabama here. Look at the tremors here. These are all tremors. Long duration tremor activity. Long duration tremor activity. Why am I showing you this? Why am I showing you Alabama? As I said before, we have a lot of seismic energy over on the East Coast. Over on the East Coast. What's going on? The Atlantic plate is expanding. It's going like this. The Atlantic plate is expanding from the middle. It's pushing Africa and Europe in an easterly direction. It's pushing Greenland, Canada, the United States, and New Mexico in a south-southwesterly direction. That seismic energy is pushing on the Eastern Continental Divide. The Eastern Continental Divide, Eastern Craton, causing earthquakes there. That is also putting pressure on the east side of the Pneumatic Fault. It's putting pressure on the east side of the Pneumatic Fault. It's no small wonder we're having earthquakes there. That's why we're having earthquakes in Alabama. Earthquakes in Mississippi. Earthquakes up and down the entire fault. This is Bruton, Alabama. Today. Let's go over to Arkansas. Catfish Pond, Arkansas now. Okay? We've seen tremors in Catfish Pond. We've seen minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. In the past, we've also seen 3.0 earthquakes here. 3.0 large earthquakes, 3.0, 3.9 are what? Small earthquakes. Small earthquakes. Guess what we have here? This morning, 4:20 this morning, 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. Minor earthquake. Catfish Pond, Arkansas, along the Mississippi River. Then what do we have after 6:45? Just before 6:46 this morning, this was a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake here. Then, at approximately 6:53 this morning, 1.8, 1.9 tremor. Okay? After 7 o'clock, nothing. But at just right before 7:59, we have some tremors building. 7:58 into 7:59, we have some tremors building. 1.2, 1.3 tremors here. We come over here to the right. 8 a.m. Here the tremors really build up. They build up from 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 tremors here. Then they diminish over a long period of time. That diminution is called the second wave, or the secondary wave. The length of the secondary wave, the time period of the secondary wave will tell us really how strong this earthquake really was, how strong this seismic activity really was. Well, guess what? In this case, the secondary wave lasted 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5 minutes, maybe longer, which means this 1.7, 1.8 tremor here possibly was even stronger, meaning the seismograph that was recording this earthquake had been turned down. Turned down. This is probably a 2.5, 2.7 earthquake. This was a 2.5, 2.7 earthquake just after 8 a.m. this morning. Whether it's tremors or minor earthquake, nobody felt it. Nobody can feel an earthquake until it's at least a 3.0, 3.2. Then guess what happened? After 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, after 8:22 this morning, guess what happens here? They play with the seismograph. They turn it off and on here. After 8:29 a.m. this morning, they turn it off. We have no records of anything until 8:45. At 8:45, we have 1.9 tremor here. 1.9 tremor here. They're playing games here, guys. Why did they turn off the seismograph? What are they not showing here? Whenever they turn off the machine, I wonder why. What did they do? What have they not shown us here? What happened during this time period? Did we have a large earthquake? It's possible. It's possible. What happened after 9:30 this morning? 9:42 this morning. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here. Okay. At approximately 6:40, 6:39, we have a bunch of tremors building, don't we? 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 tremors. It takes 2.5 minutes to build it up. All of a sudden, we have a 2.5, and then, or 2.5, 2.6, then we have a 2.8, actually 2.9, 3.0 earthquake. Yeah. Then again, it diminishes again. Okay, it diminishes over 2.5 minute time period. Meaning this 2.9, 3.0 may have been a full 3.0 earthquake. A full 3.0 earthquake here. Catfish Pond, Arkansas. We've seen earthquakes of this size at Catfish Pond before. Okay, like I've said. We've seen small earthquakes here before on the New Matter Fault, here at Catfish Pond itself. They don't want to see us show anything going on. They want to make sure we don't show or see anything, because they know what's going on here. They know full well what's happening here on the New Matter Fault, and they don't want anybody to know about it. Millions of people live up and down the fault, from Louisiana over on the Gulf of America, all the way to Illinois. Indiana, and Ohio. Many millions of people. Let's talk about this. Let's briefly pause here and talk about how many people are here. Okay? How many people? Mississippi on the east, Tennessee and Kentucky to the north. Over on the western side of the Mississippi, what we have? Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, even Oklahoma on the east side, on the west side. Going north, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, the New Madrid Fault. Several million people live there. Several million people live there. And USGS says, oh, it's only going to kill maybe 1,700 people. Yeah. 1,700 people. That's a far shout from what would probably really happen. That's a far shout from what is going to really happen here. Again, they don't want to tell us what's happening. That's why we report on it. They are not showing it. Occasionally, they might show us a tremor or even a minor earthquake. They talk about 2.2, 2.4 earthquakes here on the USGS map. But they don't want to show us what's actually happening. They don't want us to see it. Because then they would have to take responsibility for what's going to happen here. They would have to be honest and report what's happening here. They're not going to do that. Let's go over and show you Hatachikoon, Arkansas. Just about 20 miles west of the New Madrid Fault. Hatachikoon, Arkansas here. In the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've shown you 2.0, 2.9. We've shown you 3.0, 3.9 earthquakes here on the New Madrid Fault at Hatachikoon, Arkansas. Today, all they're going to show us here are tremors. Tremors and one minor earthquake. One minor earthquake here late this morning. Just after 11:50 this morning. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. 11:51 this morning. Interesting. Again, we've had tremors, we've had minor earthquakes, and we've had small 3.0, 3.9 earthquakes here in Hatachikoon, Arkansas during the past 2 to 3 months. It's happened. But have they shown it on the USGS map? Heck no. Heck no. They're not even showing these tremors. Why should they even think that they would? Why do you think we showing them to you? Because they're not going to. They're not going to. Okay? Let's go over to Manila, South Arkansas. Manila, South Arkansas here. Here in Manila, South Arkansas, last week we had minor tremors, 2.0, 2.9. We had at least 2 3.0 to 3.5 earthquakes here in Arkansas. Manila, South Arkansas. Here today, this morning, all we see is tremors here. This is all we're seeing here in tremors, nothing more. Let's go over to Madrid, Arkansas. Oh, please tell me. Oh, gosh, golly gee. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I can't believe this. Give me just a second, guys. I don't know how I did this. I almost never skip this at all. And this blows my mind. This literally blows my mind. I've never just skipped over Mark Tree, Arkansas, ever. Until today, I screwed up. I screwed up. Okay, I know we have Mark Tree, Arkansas now. I have this morning's seismogram here. I'm bringing up Mark Tree, Arkansas this afternoon right now. There are earthquakes here. There always are. Just like we always have earthquakes at Bombay Beach, Mark Tree, Arkansas also has a lot of earthquakes. 3.0 large earthquakes every day. Every darn day. Okay? Without fail. Without fail. Give me just a second again. All right, we got it. Sorry about that. I had to divert just a minute so I could show you these earthquakes. It's important. This is very important. I would not have diverted to not show you this. I didn't mean not showing you this. This is very important. Mark Tree, Arkansas is having earthquakes every day. Every day. Okay? This is Mark Tree, Arkansas today. Up until 2 months ago, we had probably 6 to 10 3.0 earthquakes here every morning. Every morning. From midnight until 12 noon. 6 to 10 3.0 earthquakes here at Mark Tree, Arkansas in the morning. We have them this afternoon as well. Here this morning, yes, we're showing you some tremors. We're showing you tremors building up to 2.0 earthquakes as well. For example, on that green line after after 3:45 on the green line in the center here. Those are tremors building up to 1.9, 2.0 earthquake. Building up to 1.9 or 2.0 earthquake. Long duration tremor activity. Tremors took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. 10 minutes worth of tremor activity. Okay? Just the secondary wave itself, the secondary sign of the earthquake. This is probably a 2.2, 2.3 earthquake, but again, the seismograph has been turned down here. Again. Going up here to this black line on the right-hand side. The black line is partially covered by the red line after that. This black line shows some tremor activity building up to an earthquake. Tremor activity building up to an earthquake. 1, 2, 3.5 minutes. Then we have a 2.0 earthquake built in. 2.0 activity for about 45 seconds. Then we build up to 2.6, 2.7 earthquake, 2.7, 2.8. Then it goes back down. The seismic activity continues over after 1:15. 1:15. We have just minor tremors here. Then it peters out after about 2.5 minutes. Picks back up. About 1:26, 1:27 in the morning. Tremor activity building up to 2.5, 2.6 earthquake again. Again, usually we have 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes. Yes, we've had 3.5 and 4.0 earthquakes here. I think even a 4.5 earthquake last year here in Martree, Arkansas. I think it was September, October last year. 4.5 earthquake here in Martree, Arkansas. Now, let's go down here later this morning. Just a second. Let's go down here this morning. 8 a.m. on the black line. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Tiny tremors, 1.0 tremors. 2 minutes of 1.0 tremors. Then it builds up to 1.1, 1.2. About 4 minutes after 8 a.m. this morning. 2.0 earthquake all of a sudden. Building up to 2.8, 2.9. Multiple 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes. Then it goes back down to 2.5, 2.6. And back down to subsequent tremors. This is the first time in quite some time that we haven't had a 3.0 plus earthquake here at Martree, Arkansas in the morning. All the rest of the morning here we have 1.0, 1.1 tremors. That's it. That doesn't happen very often, if ever anymore. Let's go over to Martree, Arkansas this afternoon. This afternoon, guys. Look what's going on here. The top of this seismogram here is 12 noon on the left-hand side. 1 p.m., nothing but tremors. Tiny tremors. 1.2, 1.3 tremors here. Come down to 2 p.m. Go over the center here. Okay, now we've gone from 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 tremors. Now we're at approximately 2:08, 2:09 p.m. this afternoon. 2.4, 2.5 earthquake, minor earthquake. Then it builds up to 2.8, 2.9. That's all. Then it goes back down. Over 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. Secondary wave, we had 4-minute wave. This may have been a 3.0 earthquake instead of 2.9. May have been. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt of calling it 2.9. Then we go down here until 3:30 this afternoon on the left-hand side. Go over here to the right. 3:40, 3:39, 3:40, we have tremors. 1.3, 1.4 tremors. Builds up to 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Right quickly. Then we go over to at least a 3.0 earthquake. Notice at the top and the bottom of this earthquake sequence, they're cut off. The top and the bottom of this sequence have been cut off. Right now, we're showing a 3.0 earthquake for at least 2.5 minutes. Cut off, this means it was probably a 3.5 earthquake. 3.5 earthquake this afternoon. 3:41 this afternoon. 3:41 this afternoon. For about 2.5, 3 minutes. Okay. Then on the next screen line, it peters out to just 1.2, 1.0, 1.1, 1.0 tremors, and it's gone. Seismic energy dies out. 4 o'clock this afternoon on the black line, all we have is 1.0 tremors. 4:15 on the red line. You see here about 4:19. All we have here are 1.4, maybe 1.5 tremors at best. 4:45 this afternoon. 1.9, 2.0 earthquake. Building up to 2.9, 3.0 there. Martree, Arkansas, guys. This is where we see a good amount of seismic activity here, is over here along the western side of the pneumatic fault. The western side of the pneumatic fault. Then we go south from here. South to here from Truman, Arkansas. Truman, Arkansas here. Look at this. For the first time in the last 3 years, I've been reporting earthquakes at Truman, Arkansas. First time. Usually we have a dozen or 2 dozen minor earthquakes at least. Dozen or 2 dozen minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. Right here today. We have three minor earthquakes here. This first one is after 9 a.m. this morning. About 9:07 this morning. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Prior to that, we have tremors. More tremors. After 11:41 a.m. this morning. Another 2.7, 2.8 earthquake on the blue line on the bottom right. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. 2 minor earthquakes. 2 minor earthquakes. Usually we have dozens of those. Dozens of them. Only 2 minor earthquakes here in Truman, Arkansas. That's insane. That's totally insane. The same thing this afternoon. The same thing this afternoon. Up on the top black line is 12 noon on the left-hand side. We come over here to the right. 12:10. 12:10, we might have had a 2.0 earthquake. See that black line going up? That may have been a 2.0 earthquake. We don't see the bottom of it. After 12:15, nothing. 12:30 on the blue line next, we have some tremors over on the right-hand side. Guys, that's pretty much where we stand here this afternoon. Truman, Arkansas. Nothing really. Nothing really. However, one more town to the south here in Arkansas, Tyrons, Arkansas. Tyrons, Arkansas. Again, here in Tyrons, usually we have dozens of minor earthquakes. Dozens of minor earthquakes. 2.0 to 2.9 earthquakes, and occasional 3.0. What you are seeing here in Tyrons, Arkansas, mostly tremor activity. Mostly tremor activity this morning. I see 3, maybe 4 minor earthquakes here today. 3, maybe 4 minor earthquakes. The first one is over on the black line on the left-hand side, almost center right. To me, that looks like a 1.8 tremor. 1.8 tremor. After 8:11 this morning, 1.7 tremor there. Then again, look what they did here. 8:14, they turned the seismograph off. They kept it off for at least 15 minutes. 15 minutes, no details. Why? What are they hiding? What are they hiding? This usually does not happen here on the new manifold, but occasionally it does. That's why I'm saying, what are they hiding? Okay? We'll come down here to the bottom here. The bottom black line is 11 a.m. this morning. Go over here to the center on the black line. 11:10. 1.4, 1.5 tremor. About 2 minutes later, another 1.4, 1.5 tremor. 11:33 this morning. 2.3, 2.4 earthquake. The first minor earthquake. 2.3, 2.4 earthquake here. Then over on the bottom green line on the right-hand side. That's also 2.3, 2.4 earthquake. 11:58 this morning. Tyrons, Arkansas. Again, usually we see tremors and we see minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.9 here in Tyrons, Arkansas. Always. Always. Now what I showed you in California was a little bit different. They reduced the size of all the earthquakes there. They hardly reported anything in California at all. They don't want to admit what's going on with the San Andreas Fault. Again, this may be what's happening here with the New Madrid Fault. They don't want to admit what's actually happening here. They know what's going on. They can see it. They just don't want to report it. That's what I feel is going on here. Going over to Tyrons, Arkansas this afternoon, the same thing here. Tremors, maybe 3 minor earthquakes here. 3 minor earthquakes. One after 2:55, 2:56 this afternoon. 2.0 earthquake. Actually, one before that. After 1:05 this afternoon, a 2.2, 2.3 earthquake. 1:55 this afternoon, 2.0 earthquake. Here, 2, see here, 16, 17, 18, 19. 2:19 this afternoon. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Then the rest of these are all tremors. These are all tremors. This almost never happens like this. This almost never happens like this, guys. This is just wrong. This is just wrong. Now, I'm going to skip over Missouri right now, but we'll come back to Missouri in a minute. We've shown you what's happened in Decatur, Illinois before, last month. Look what's happening in Decatur, Illinois again today. What happened after 12:30 this morning? 12:30 this morning. It actually started before that. 1:29 this morning. Actually, 12:29 this morning on the red line on the right-hand side top. We had tremors building up to 2.0 earthquake. Then all of a sudden, 12:30 this morning, we had at least a 3.0, 3.5 earthquake here. This last month on the Decatur, Illinois seismograph. The Decatur, Illinois seismograph has been reporting constant shaking, constant small earthquake shaking here in Decatur, Illinois, literally all day long. All day long. In today's case, this small seismic energy, 3.0, 3.5 energy, you see they cut off the top and the bottom here? They cut off the bottom and the top of the sequence here. They had no choice at the top because it went off the graph. At the bottom, they cut it off again. 3.0, 3.5 shaking. That means people here in Decatur, Illinois felt the movement under their feet. They felt the earth moving under their feet for about 11, 12 minutes. 11 or 12 minutes early this morning. Some people may have woken up with this. This was after 12:30 a.m. this morning. Then, what happened after 2:45 this morning? Approximately 2:50 a.m. this morning, the small seismic energy started again. 3.0, 3.5 energy started again. This time, it lasted 2.5 minutes. Lasted 2.5 minutes of small, tiny shake. I can't say tiny, but small shaking happened. They may have woken up with this as well. After about 12:40 this morning, then the ground stopped shaking. All they had was tiny tremors and minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes and tiny tremors. They might have gone back to sleep. Then, what happened? 3:50 this morning, 3.0, 3.5 earthquake hit again. 2.5, 3 minutes. Then it stopped. Then all we had here was tremors the rest of the morning until 9:15, 9:15, 9:25. 9:25, we started having 2.0, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 earthquakes again over here on the red line on the right-hand side. $9:25 this morning. 9:30, 2.0 earthquakes and tremors. Then we had tremors again until approximately 11:31 this morning. 2.4, 2.5 earthquake. A minute and a half later, 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Minor shaking, nobody felt it. But this happened. Decatur, Illinois this morning had movement again. Every morning for the last month. I believe every morning for almost the last month. This afternoon, what could happen here? Again, they have experienced shaking of 3.0 to 3.5 shaking almost 24/7. Almost. In this case today, starting at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. In this case, the shaking started. 2.5, 2.6 minor earthquakes. Just over a minute. Just over a minute, maybe 1 minute, 15, 20 seconds. Then it quieted down to tremor activity. Then what happened after approximately 1:20 this morning? 1:20 this morning. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Then the seismic energy built to 3.0, 3.5 again. The top and the bottom of this sequence was cut off. This is probably 3.5 earthquake here. Probably a 3.5 earthquake here. They felt this afternoon. 120 to 125, actually 120 to 124 this afternoon. They felt this movement. After that, I think the largest was a 2.8. 2.8 at about 333, 334 this afternoon. Like I said, 2.0, 2.9 are minor earthquakes. You can't feel those unless maybe you're very sensitive. But this is small seismic energy hitting. Small seismic energy hitting on the north part of the New Madrid Fault. The northern part of the New Madrid Fault. We've been seeing this every day. Every day. I keep checking it. Every day, guys. Decatur, Illinois. Every day. For kicks and giggles, let's go down south to DeRidder, Louisiana. DeRidder, Louisiana. We have several seismographs down in Louisiana, and they've turned them all off except at DeRidder, Louisiana. This morning, all we are seeing is tremor activity except for one spot. One spot this morning. 143, or no, I'm sorry, not 143, I'm sorry. Approximately 10:43 this morning. 10:43 this morning, we had a 2.8 earthquake. 2.8 earthquake, 10:43 this morning. Minor earthquake. All the rest of this is all tremor activity. Tremor activity. Yes, in DeRidder, we've had 3.0 earthquakes before. But most of the shaking down here in Louisiana have been tremors. Tremors. Twice on the USGS map, they've shown us minor earthquakes. 2.2 and 2.4 earthquakes here in Louisiana. Shown on the USGS map in the past month. Before that, they never had earthquakes at all here in Louisiana on the USGS map. Just didn't happen. But this afternoon in DeRidder, nothing on the map at all. Nothing on seismograph at all. Nothing. Seismograph doesn't show squat. Meaning they basically turned it off. They basically turned the cotton picking seismograph off this afternoon here in DeRidder, Louisiana. Sad. Up until 2 months ago, we had one of those seismographs loaded and ready at Pioneer Landing, Louisiana. About a month and a half ago, they shut that down as well. Again, they don't want to be reporting earthquakes here on the New Madrid Fault unless they absolutely have to. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Okay, now, let's go over to Missouri. I'm going to stop this afternoon here with Cape Girardeau, Missouri. This morning, seismogram doesn't show squat. Cape Girardeau usually shows a lot of tremors, just like this, all day long. But today's seismogram doesn't show anything this morning, just this afternoon. These are all tremors here. These are all tremors. This is typically what we see all day long from midnight on. Okay? Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Alongside the New Madrid Fault. Again, the center part of the New Madrid is in Missouri. In Missouri. Let's go over to Barker Cemetery. 3 years ago, 3 years ago here in Barker Cemetery, all we had here were tremors, nothing more. Not one thing more but tremors. Starting here 2 years ago, we started seeing minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes literally all morning long and afternoon as well. About 2 months ago, we started seeing some 3.0 small quakes here at Barker Cemetery. Since that time, I believe they're censoring the data here at Barker Cemetery, because you see what we're seeing here. Nothing before this. Nothing at all before approximately 10:26 this morning. And this is a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. They're not even showing it one blip. Hardly, actually, I'm sorry, they are. They're showing a couple minor tremors, 1.0, 1.1 tremors here. And at 10:26, they are showing us a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. That's all. Then after about 10:54 this morning, this is a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake on the green line. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake on the green line here. 10:54 this morning. At 11:03 this morning, another 2.4, 2.5 earthquake. At 11:58 this morning, 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. Minor earthquakes. Like I said, before this last month, this complete cytogram here from midnight on had minor earthquakes. Minor earthquakes. I want to say probably 10 to 15 minor earthquakes. They're not showing hardly anything going on here. I believe they're censoring the seismic activity here. They're censoring the seismic activity here at Barker Cemetery. Let's look at Barker Cemetery this afternoon. Actually, I'm sorry. Again, at Barker Cemetery this afternoon, it didn't show anything going on at all. So I didn't even put it up here. Carton, Missouri. Carton, Missouri. Look at here. All we are seeing here are long duration minor tremors. Long duration minor tremors. It doesn't even get up to 2.0 earthquake at all. These are long duration tremors, maybe 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 tremors at all. Long duration tremor activity. Here at Carton, Missouri, a few weeks back, we had tremors, minor earthquakes, and even a 3.0 earthquake here at Carton, Missouri. Again, I believe they're censoring what's going on here. This is on the New Madrid Fault, literally right next to the Mississippi River, on the New Madrid Fault, Carton, Missouri. Carton, Missouri this afternoon, the same thing is here. But in this case, after about 1:08 p.m. this afternoon, we have our first 2.0 earthquakes, two of them almost back to back. Then after 2:11 this afternoon, another 2.0 earthquake again. Tremors turning into 2.0 earthquake and almost immediately going back down to tremors again. Carton, Missouri here. They are hijacking the data. They're hijacking the data here. They don't want to tell us what exactly is going on here. Okay? Let's go over to Guam, Missouri. Guam, Missouri. Look what's going on here. Guam, Missouri very frequently has minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. They always have tremors. They always have tremors. Yet here in Guam, Missouri, we've had multiple 3.0 earthquakes here as well. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes here as well. They're hiding the data here as well. I don't see one 3.0 earthquake at all. I see several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2.0, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes. That's it. That's it. Guam, Missouri this morning. Guam, Missouri this afternoon. The same thing holds true with the afternoon sidegram here. Guam, Missouri. Here we've seen 3.0 earthquakes here frequently. Now we've seen tremors and one sequence of 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes here. That's all. That's all. Again, they are limiting what we're seeing here. They're not going to be honest with us at all, period. Kewanee, Missouri, Central Missouri, on again the Mississippi River on the west side of the river. Kewanee, Missouri, look at this. Here we're seeing a lot of tremors. Tremors building up even to at approximately 12:51 a.m. this morning, building up to a 2.9 3.0 earthquake. 2.9 3.0 earthquake. About a month and a half ago, we started seeing a lot of 3.0, 3.4 activity. A lot of 3.0, 3.4 activity at Kewanee, Missouri. Now again, they are limiting the data again. Yes, we're seeing tremor activity. We're seeing long duration tremor activity turn into 2.0, 2.5, 2.8, 2.9, 3.0 earthquake, and back down again. This is very unusual. We're going to keep monitoring Kewanee, Missouri here because I have a feeling very soon we're going to see 3.0 earthquakes activity, 3.0 activity here again very soon. We've seen it before, it's going to happen again. Kewanee, Missouri this afternoon, nothing but tremors building up to 2.0 activity. That's all. All right. Then we go up to Matthews, Missouri. Matthews, Missouri. Matthews, Missouri is just north of New Madrid. Just north of New Madrid, Missouri. Matthews, Missouri right here. About 2 months ago was the first time we started seeing 3.0 small activity here at Matthews, Missouri. Again, the center part of Missouri, the center part of the New Madrid Fault, just north of New Madrid, Missouri. This morning, 12:55 this morning, actually 12:55, 12:40 this morning, tremor activity. 12:44, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. 12:29 this morning. 2.9, building up what looks like a 3.0 earthquake. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake. Then over here, 12:45 this morning. 12:45 this morning, continuing on after it left off at 12:44 this morning. 12:45, 3.0 in large earthquakes. 3.0, probably 3.5 earthquakes here. Lasting a full minute and a half. A full minute and a half, almost 2 minutes. 3.0 small activity here. Then dies off. 3.0, 3.5, dying off to 2.4, 2.5, dying off to tremors. Then at 1:15 this morning, tremor activity. 1:16, 1:17. Coming over here, 1:18, we see our first 2.0 earthquake. Building up to 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. Upwards of 2.8, 2.9. 2.8, 2.9 seismic activity, then dies off. Then, later this morning, 9:41 a.m. this morning, tremor activity. 9:42, more tremor activity. 9:43, the tremor activity builds up to 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. 12:43, 2.0, 2.2. Just before 12:40, or no, I'm sorry, not 12, I'm sorry, 9:44, just before 9:44. We're at 2.8, 2.9. Then it dies off to nothing more than 2.0 activity. Gets up to 2.8, 2.9, and dies off to minor earthquakes again. 9:44, 2.8, 2.9, dies up to 9:45 on the green line. 1.9, 2.0 earthquake, then dies up to tremors. Matthews, Missouri this morning. Let's take a look at what happens in Matthews, Missouri this afternoon. Right here. Look what happens here, guys. 12:45 this afternoon. At 12:43, we have tremors over on the right-hand side. 12:43 on the right-hand side of the blue line. 12:44, more tremors. 12:45, tremors building up to 2.0 earthquakes. 2.5 earthquakes, back to back. Back to back for about 10 to 15 seconds. Building up to 2.7, 2.8. 3.0 earthquake here. This is at least a 3.0, 3.3 earthquake here. For just over a minute. Then dies up to 2.8, 2.9. Dies off very quickly. Then back up to 2.5, 2.6. Then dies up to 2.0, dies up to tremors again. 1:45 this afternoon. Actually, 1:44 this afternoon. 1:40, 1:43, 1:44 this afternoon, tiny tremors. 1:45, 1.2, 1.3 tremors. 1.5, 1.6, 1.9, 2.0 earthquakes. 2.0 minor earthquake here. Those minor earthquakes continue for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Off and on after that for another minute. Then dies off to tremors, 1, 2.0, dies completely off to tremors again. Matthews, Missouri. Yes, we've seen 3.0 activity here at Matthews, Missouri before. I think we're going to see it again. Again, the pneumatic fault is loaded. It's loaded. It's moving a great deal. I don't think it's going to stop. My honest opinion, I don't think it's going to stop. Let's go over and look at Portersville, Missouri, on the pneumatic fault, the west side of the pneumatic fault at Portersville. Look what happened this morning. .407 this morning. Tremor activity, 408. Minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.2, 2.5, 2.6, 2.8, 2.6 again, 2.8, 2.9 dies up to tremors. Then we have off and on tremors all morning long. Tiny 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 tremors, that's all. Portersville, Missouri is used to having 3.0 earthquakes off and on all morning long. Again, I think they are hiding data. I think they are scrubbing data off this seismograph. The same thing this afternoon. The exact same thing this afternoon. Look here. They have tampered with this seismograph here. Notice the seismograph lines slope upwards here. They tampered with it. At 2:52 this morning, or this afternoon, 2:52 this morning, 3.0, 3.4 earthquake here. I don't think it made to 3.5. It might have. But 3.0, 3.4 activity here. 1.5, almost 3 minutes long. Portersville, Missouri moved today. It may have moved a lot more than they're showing here. It has in the past. They've been doctoring the seismographs all the time. All the darn time. They've been doing this for quite a while now. Quite a while. Frankly, I'm getting tired of it. Let's go over to eastern Tennessee. On the southern part of the Blue Ridge Mountain, or not Blue Ridge, the southern part of the Appalachian Mountains. Here, they call it the Blue Ridge. The Blue Ridge. The East Tennessee seismic zone. Hopper, Tennessee. Hopper, Tennessee. We've seen a lot of seismic activity in the past. Today, we're seeing tiny tremors here, mostly tiny tremors. During the last 2 weeks, we've seen 3.0 earthquakes, a lot of them. A lot of 3.0 earthquakes here on the East Tennessee seismic zone. Lots of them. A lot of activity. Again, I think what they've done is they've erased the data. They're not showing everything going on. This again is on the southern part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, Appalachian Mountains. Okay? I've hiked some of these. I've done a drill in Kentucky. I've done a drill in Nashville, Tennessee. I've hiked these mountains, been there. I've done a little bit of hiking since I moved here to Morganton. A little bit. I'm not able to go very far right now. I hope to soon. The guys here in the East Tennessee seismic zone, this is the Eastern Continental Divide. This is the Eastern Continental Divide. We have seismic energy over in Georgia. We have seismic energy in Georgia all day long. All day long. Savannah, Georgia, right there. Look at this. Tremor activity until about 5 or 6 this morning. Then we started getting minor earthquakes here, even possibly as much as a 3.0 earthquake here this morning, Savannah, Georgia. This afternoon as well. Now, I want to take you over to South Carolina. There's a reason. Sumter, South Carolina. Look at this. Last week, it was reported we had 2.4, 2.5, and 2.9 earthquakes happening here in Sumter, South Carolina. USGS said it was. USGS for the first time admitted there were 2.4, 2.5 minor earthquakes here in Sumter, South Carolina. First time they admit it. There have been minor earthquakes here in Sumter for a very long time. Last week, we saw 3.0 activity. We saw 3.0 activity. In fact, a television station WMIS had pointed out on their internet page that there was 2.9, 3.0 activity here at Sumter, Lugoff, South Carolina. Lugoff is just south of Sumter. So when we see activity here on the seismogram at Sumter, it was felt in Lugoff as well. But again, I believe what they've done is they scrub the data off the seismograms. They don't want to show what's going on here at all. At all. Sumter, South Carolina this afternoon. Look at this. The same thing here. All we are seeing here in Sumter, South Carolina on the seismogram are tremors. Nothing more. Nothing more. What happened here in North Carolina? Briefly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. In southern North Carolina, near the coastline, Roland, North Carolina. Usually we see a lot of tremors all day long, from midnight on. We're seeing here a lot of microquakes, tons of microquakes, and only a handful of tremors, and 2 minor earthquakes down here at the bottom red line. 11:26, 11:27, 2.5, 2.6, 2.3 earthquake after that. Nothing but tremors here in Roland, North Carolina. Yes, we've seen minor earthquakes, and we've seen 3.0 earthquakes here in Roland before. Again, they're not showing them at all. Nothing. Nothing. What are they hiding? This afternoon, guys, (1:14) this afternoon. 3.0 earthquake here at Roland, North Carolina. 1:15, just before 1:16. 2.6 earthquake here. 1:32 this afternoon. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here in Roland, North Carolina. What's going on? Again, I want to take us back to the Mid-Atlantic Fault. The Mid-Atlantic Fault is coming apart like this. It's expanding, pushing Africa and Europe in an easterly direction, pushing Greenland, Canada, the United States, and northern Mexico in a southwesterly direction. That's why we have earthquakes here, putting pressure on the Eastern Continental Divide, the Appalachian and the Blue Ridge Mountains here. That's what's actually going on here. That's what's actually going on. But again, we've seen more activity here in Roland before. They are hiding seismic activity, I swear. I swear on a stack of Bibles. They're hiding activity. 45 minutes north of me. 45 minutes north of me. Taylorsville, North Carolina. We're used to seeing tremors here in Taylorsville. Occasionally we've seen 2.8, 2.9 here in Taylorsville. Usually it's 2.0, 2.4. Occasionally, once in a blue moon, we'll see a 3.0 earthquake here in Taylorsville, North Carolina, 45 miles north of me. Here today, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here. 2.6, 2.7. Unreal. Like I said, I believe there's more activity here. They're not talking about it, not showing it. Earlier today, I had a bottle of water on my desk about 11 o'clock this morning. There was movement. Can you see earthquake, or can you see movement in the water here? That was what was happening on my desk about 11 o'clock this morning. Movement. Water was moving. I had two separate bottles on my desk. I only have one now. Water was moving. That means the seismic energy was here. We're having tremors. There is a mountain just west of us called Grandfather Mountain. I checked it. There were tiny tremors and minor earthquakes happening at Grandfather Mountain, just about 30 miles west of us. I was going to show you the activity. I should have downloaded it to my database here. I didn't. When I came back here this afternoon, the data was gone. They scrubbed the data from the Grandfather Mountain site. Unreal. This is what these agencies do. The universities that have these earth sites, their earth studies program at these universities have these seismographs that they control. USGS tells them what to do. They scrub the data, guys. Almost all of this data has come from University of Memphis. University of Memphis Earth Sciences Department. I get data from the University of Kentucky. I get data from the University of Tennessee. I get data from where? University of North Carolina. I get data from the University of Utah. I get data from Caltech. I get data from the USGS. I get data from the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. I get data from Pennsylvania, from New York, and Connecticut. They all do the same thing. They scrub the data. They scrub the data, guys. It's a fact. I have shown you these sites before. It's a sad day. It's a very sad day. They don't want to say what's going on. Like I said, it's my belief. That we are going to see a major earthquake on the New Med Fault very soon, sometime within the next 2 years. Now, tomorrow, the storm we are expecting here on the East Coast will be over Kentucky. Ryan Hall is going to see this storm tomorrow. He's going to start seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of snow tomorrow. That's what's going to happen over here in Kentucky. Going into Virginia, North and South Carolina. The snow is going to spread tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. This is how it's going to go, guys. Tomorrow evening into Saturday, even to Sunday. This is what's going to happen. Count on it. Count on it happening. As I said before, this storm's coming out of Canada. Bluish white areas is where we're going to get snow. The gray red areas, cold, bitter temperatures. Cold, bitter temperatures. Down to -7 degrees below zero. -7 degrees below zero. Now, guys, we talked about this last week with the ice. Now we're talking about 25 to 35 mile an hour winds. Wind chill. 25 to 35 mile an hour, we're talking blizzard conditions. Heavy duty wind chill. Like I said, temperatures dropping down to -7 degrees below zero. Maybe further. Maybe further. Again, this storm is located off the coast of going to be located off the coast of northern Florida, all up and down the east coast from Florida, all the way up to Canada, all the way up to New Brunswick, Canada, Nova Scotia, Canada. Look out. All I can say is look out. Look what's happening here. This is Friday night into Saturday, and Saturday night into Sunday. This bluish area is where all the snow is going to be. Temperatures here are going to dive down into the teens and single digits. We're going to see upwards of 4 to 7 inches of snow. We're going to see upwards of 4 to 7 inches of snow here in North Carolina, going over into Virginia as well. Let me read to you what the National Weather Service says. We got the weather warning this morning. Let me read to you what it says here. I made copies of it to share with you tonight. Winter storm watch remains in effect from Friday afternoon through Sunday morning. Heavy snow possible. Heavy snow possible, guys. Accumulations between 4 to 7 inches possible. Maybe larger in some areas. Winds could gust up to as high as 35 miles per hour, meaning we're going to see snow and blowing snow. Blizzard conditions. Portions of northeastern Georgia, the Piedmont, where I live in western North Carolina, and upstate South Carolina. Impacts. The heavy snow will make many roads impassable and may produce isolated power outages due to the way the snow on power lines and tree limbs. The hazardous conditions could impact the Friday evening commute. Snow is expected to rapidly stick to roads and other surfaces due to temperatures in the 20s and teens. Travel conditions could deteriorate rapidly as early as Friday evening. Conditions could deteriorate rapidly after that. Very gusty winds on Saturday could result in areas of blowing snow and blizzard conditions, causing very poor visibility. Precautionary preparedness actions. Precautionary preparedness actions. Extreme cold watch in effect from Saturday evening through Sunday morning. Dangerously cold wind chills as low as -7 below zero. portions of northeastern Georgia, the Piedmont where I live, West North Carolina mountains, upstate South Carolina, from Saturday evening through Sunday morning. The dangerously cold wind chills will be as low as 5 below zero Sunday morning. The dangerously cold wind chills are as low as 5 below zero. They can result in hypothermia or frostbite. Precautions must be taken or you will be hurt. Precautions must be taken. Dress in layers, including a hat, a face mask, and gloves if you must go outside. Gloves and mittens if you must go outside. To prevent water pipes from freezing, wrap your pipes in insulation or drain and allow them to drip slowly. Drain your pipes or allow the water in the pipes to drip slowly, a constant drip or a constant stream of water out of the pipes. I keep it slowly on the constant stream. That way the water is continually going through the pipes. It's not going to freeze as rapidly. Okay? Make frequent checks on older family members. Make frequent checks on older family members, friends, and neighbors. Ensure portable heaters are used correctly. Do not use gas. Do not use gas grills. Do not use anything gas at all inside your home, unless it's a gas stove. Now, I think I downloaded this to my database here. Let me double check this. I want to make sure you guys have this information. Give me a second here. No, I didn't do it. Dad, freaking government. Hold on a second, guys. I want you to see this. This is important. This is in regards to last weekend. The information I'm going to give you is last weekend. You need to see this. This is vital for your safety. This information is very vital to your safety. We just lost about 5 people that just dropped off our channel. Unfortunately. Well, dadgummit. Hold on. Hold on a second. This is really one of the most important parts of this program tonight. This is very important, or I wouldn't even bother. Okay? Very, very important. This is right here. In 2021, over 111 fatalities were confirmed from the deadliest winter storm since February 2021, last weekend. Let's look at this. New York, 15 people died. Kentucky, 11. Tennessee, 10. Mississippi, 10. Texas, 10. Indiana, 9. Louisiana, 8. The state of Maine, 6. Pennsylvania, 6. South Carolina, 3. Arkansas, 2. Iowa, 2. Illinois, 2. Massachusetts, 2 people died. Michigan, 2 people died. Ohio, 2 people died. 1 person in Charlotte, North Carolina died. Kansas, 1 person died. Maryland, 1 person died. Oklahoma, 1 person died. A total of 111 fatalities last weekend. The worst deadly storm since 2021. No joke. Since February 2021. Guys, this weekend's storm is going to be bad. No, it's not going to have the ice that last weekend did. But here in southeastern United States, we're going to get anywhere from 4 to 7 inches of snow. Last weekend here in Morganton, I got 3 inches of ice. 3 inches of ice. 2.5 inches still persist in my patio. 2.5 inches of ice persist on my patio tonight. Fact. Add 6 to 7 inches of snow more. Between the ice and the snow, we're going to have maybe close to a foot of snow and ice on the ground. I'm hoping tomorrow we can put an end to some of that ice. Hope tomorrow we can put an end to some of that ice. There is a chance of doing that tonight. There is a chance of doing that tonight. To rid yourselves of ice on your sidewalk or your parking area, your driveway. You need to do this. This is the DIY sidewalk de-icer. The DIY, do-it-yourself sidewalk de-icer to keep your walkways and patios and driveways clean from ice. In a half gallon of water, put 1 teaspoon of Dawn dishwashing liquid, 1 teaspoon of Dawn dishwashing fluid, Dawn dishwashing liquid, 1 tablespoon rubbing alcohol, 1 tablespoon of rubbing alcohol, and a half gallon of warm water. Half gallon of warm water. Mix the ingredients together. Mix the ingredients together. Pour the ingredients over your ice. Pour the ingredients over the ice between the Dawn dishwashing detergent and the rubbing alcohol in the water. That will hopefully melt your ice. Okay? Results, they won't be slick anymore. Hopefully they won't refreeze. Hopefully they won't refreeze. Again, 1 teaspoon of Dawn dishwashing liquid and 1 tablespoon of rubbing alcohol mixed with a half gallon of water. Then pour that half gallon of water on your walkways. That should de-ice your walkways. Do we have any questions here? Any questions here? One of my emergency management agencies shared that, so I want to share it with you. Last weekend, 109 people here in the United States lost their lives because of the cold. 2 in Canada. We don't want that to happen again. The time to prepare is now. One of my mods, one of my best friends, Renee Seppi's here. Yeah, all the time to prepare is now. I'm quoting Renee. Don't let this opportunity slip past you. Families need to plan together. Stay safer together. Renee, you're spot on. You're spot on. Tracy and Stephen Sandlin here in the chat says, thank you, Ron, for keeping us informed. God bless you. I want to say God bless you to you as well. All of you. I love each and every one of you here, whether you're moderators or not. You're part of the Emergency Management Association family. Part of our family. Just below this video today in the top of the program description, you are able to see where we can join as members on our program. To join as members on our program. On Saturday morning, if we don't have a power outage, I will do a members only meeting for members, telling you what is going on here in Morganton, North Carolina with the snow. I'll give you an idea Saturday morning. If it goes on, gets really worse, and the internet stays on, I'll come on the air again Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening for everybody. Sunday afternoon, I will be on the air at 12:30 with our Sunday afternoon weekly Sunday school called Come Follow Me, the Savior Said. I do that every Sunday afternoon, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you'll join me for that. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be talking about earthquakes. We're going to be talking about storms. We're going to be talking about emergency preparedness. Prepare for the storm, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare for the storm. It's going to be a doozy. Right now, we are in the middle of the winter. The winter started in December. We're in the middle of the winter season. Get prepared right now. Make sure you stay prepared. Have mittens and gloves, jackets and coats, parkas if need be, beanie caps and hats, face scarves, or even face masks, ski masks. Make sure your clothing is layered. Make sure you have heavy-duty boots and shoes. Make sure you're wearing wool socks to keep your feet warm. Frostbite can occur very quickly with this kind of cold. Flesh can freeze within 10 minutes if it's exposed to these temperatures. Your skin can freeze within 10 minutes if it's exposed to these temperatures. So be safe out there. Stay safe. I care about each one of you. As I've done before, I'm going to do tonight. At the end of our program, I'll leave you with a scripture study. Just a couple of scriptures here. Tonight I'm going to Luke chapter 18. I'm going to verse 22. Now when Jesus heard these things, he said unto him, Yet lackest thou one thing. Sell all that thou hast, and distribute unto the poor, and thou shalt have treasures in heaven. And come follow me. Come follow me. God doesn't ask us to sell all that we have now. He asks for 10%. 10%. A tithe. He asks us to follow him. Follow him. Frequently I've heard the words, listen to him. Listen to Jesus Christ. Follow him. I read my scriptures every day. I urge you to do the same. Follow Jesus Christ. Read the scriptures with your families as well. Follow him. Daily scripture study will get you a long ways. Ask God to bless you. Ask God to bless you here and now and throughout your lives. I love you. I care about each one of you. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be here. I would not be here. God be with you until we meet again, guys. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon about 4 p.m. Eastern Time. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Much love. Talk to you soon. Good night. Be safe.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We love you. Have a good night.